Hi everyone, it's Casey. It is April 10th and not much has changed around here. Like probably all of you, we are quarantined still, and our area is having some really nice weather. It's almost like summer, so that's helping in some ways as far as mood goes, but it's not helping because everybody wants to get outside. And it's going to be Easter this weekend, so we will be celebrating just us, and that's okay. I recorded this video over the past week or two. I just recorded the progress of painting her sort of while things were going on in my house, so I didn't really have quiet to record me talking, so I'm doing this voiceover now as you're watching me work on her. I'm going to talk later in the video about making her teeth. I know I've done teeth videos before, but I thought, well, why not do it again? I just wanted to mention that this doll is an SBL. She's a Roxy baby. And so when you're watching me do the video, you're probably wondering why the top of her head is cut off. When I actually bought a scalp for this doll before the doll. So I bought a scalp on Etsy, and it was for a tan doll, and so I just went and bought a tan doll without thinking about the fact that the scalp was supposed to fit on an RBL. So I got Roxy Baby off of a Facebook group for a pretty good price. She's an older doll. She's an SBL mold, which again I wasn't really paying attention to. SBLs tend to be the hardest to open. She wasn't too hard to open at all, but the scalp was not going to fit on her. And unfortunately, since I had the scalp and the doll, I really didn't want to order another tan doll or look for another one. So I decided that I was just going to make the scalp work on this SBL. And so I had to take the dome off of the scalp, which actually wasn't too hard. And then I'm going to have to glue it onto her now. But when I put the scalp sort of over the head, the dome that's on the SBL was really high, and it was going to be really hard to get to have the scalp lay flat. So I thought, why not just cut it off? It's not super necessary to have that part of the head. So that's what I did, and it seems like it's going to work fine. So I'm finishing up the doll today and gluing on the scalp. And it's laying pretty flat, so I'm really happy with it. So she should be available now in the next day or two. I went to take photos of her today, and my camera is acting really weird. I'm kind of at a place where I might need to get a new camera because it's not staying charged and it sort of glitches, and I can't even get it to turn on right now. So I have it plugged in, and hopefully I'll be able to get some photos of her. So I'm putting a photo in the end of this video that I took on my cell phone because I don't want to wait for the camera to charge. It's getting late this evening and I want to get this video posted. So I hope you all are safe and well wherever you are. We are definitely adjusting and it's getting easier. I'm enjoying that I do really have more time to work on dolls, which is great. But not a lot of income coming in. So check my shop if you need Blythe supplies, and I will talk to you all later. I hope you enjoy this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye everyone. All right, so I'm ready to start on the teeth for this doll. So I make the teeth when the faceplate is completely done. So it's sort of like the last step I do. I'm not really sure what everyone else does. I know I've made teeth videos before, but I thought we'd do a little update I still pretty much use the same process. So you're going to want 2 different types of oven baked clay. So I get white and translucent, and you're going to want to mix them together. If you only use white, it will look very unnatural for the teeth. And if you only use translucent, it also looks unnatural. So I found that a mix works best. So what I do is I get my oven on whatever it says on the package. I think it's 275. You're going to want something glass. Glass is a little bit better than other oven type, like cookie sheet. I don't know if you can use a cookie sheet. I think glass is just better. And you really are not going to need probably this much clay either. You don't need very much at all, because the teeth are going to be pretty small. For this doll though, I'm hoping to make really large front teeth. I kind of have a vision of not necessarily buck teeth, but just very large front teeth. So we're going to try that out here. So first you got to mix it, and that can take a little bit of time. The translucent is a little harder than the white, and so it takes a while to warm it up. All right, once you have it mixed, you're just going to take a little bit off, and it takes a little time to get the right size of the tooth. And what you're going to do is make a long tooth. It's actually going to look kind of like a real tooth with a root on it. I try not to touch the faceplate too much with the clay fingers, so you can be careful with that. And then you want to just place it on the back, sort of like that. I'm probably going to make it a little bit smaller, but that's the way that the teeth end up being. And then you can look around at the front and sort of move it around. Some of the hard parts are the T-bar post. Makes it hard to get that one tooth on the left, on that side. So you kind of have to smush it in there. It's a little bit bigger than I want it to be, so I'm going to shrink it down a bit. So it looks like I have some pastel that came on the inside of the mouth that didn't get sprayed. So I'm going to go ahead and seal that first before we continue, because it's getting my clay dirty. So let me seal that really quickly. Okay, so let's try this again. I think the second one's a little too fat.
So once you get them how you want them, which I pretty much have, I kind of want to square up the bottom a little bit with my fingernail. I wanted there to be kind of a gap like that. You also, with a mouth this wide, can put teeth below or on the sides. So I'm going to play with it and see if I want to or not. I really wanted her teeth to be prominently like that in the front, but there is some space over here, so let's see. Well, that looks kind of subtle and I like it. So let's do the two on the side teeth. I'm probably not going to do any below. Now again, this one on this side is the hard one to get in there. You can kind of push it down with there we go. So it's just very subtle. Now you can see some of the clay sticking out of the eyes, so we're going to cut that off as soon as we have it the way we like it. Let's see what it would look like to do some bottom teeth. I don't think I'm going to, but let's see what it looks like. I don't normally do bottom teeth. Because it makes the mouth look so full to me. Yeah, I'm just gonna not do bottom teeth. We're just gonna do the top. Okay, so what you can do at this point, once they're all kind of attached to each other, is you can trim off the top portion. You also can do this after the fact if you need to, but it's helpful to at least know what you need before putting it in the oven. Just make sure that you don't mess anything up in the process, because I feel like this tooth on this side is not stuck on there very well, so I want to make sure it's attached well. So once you have done that, then you just peel the whole thing off as carefully as possible, because you want to make sure that they are stuck to each other and it's one solid piece so that it will fit in there. And then you just pull it out like that. It's going to look weird when you look at it, which is okay. You don't want to move it around. Doesn't matter what it looks like up on the top, it's only going to show that bottom part. And then you're going to go ahead and put it on your plate and put it in the oven. So most of these clays say 275, 30 minutes per 1/4 inch. I usually put it in for about 15 minutes and that seems to be fine. So let's do that. So once you have your piece done, you're just gonna drop it down in there and it should just go right into place. Make sure you have given it some time to cool off, just so you don't bend it at all, because it will still be a little flexible when it comes out of the oven. So take a look at it, make sure it's in there correctly. The other thing you want to be careful about, and this is why we trim off the top, is when the mech is in, it can rub against the teeth. So again, make sure it's hardened, but then you might trim a little more off the top, just to make sure that the mech doesn't interfere with it. But you don't want to trim off so much that you don't have enough to put it in place either. So just be careful. The other thing you can do is you can just leave it as it is, and then when you put the mech in later, you can always trim it more if you need to. So once you have it where you want it, just make sure that it's matching in all of the places. I let it just sit there, and then I put like 2 drops of super glue near the back. So there's debate on whether you should use super glue or not. I haven't found a problem. I think probably those who have a problem are using too much. I'm not sure, but I literally just put a drop and let it go sort of down in there. You don't want it to seep out the front, so just putting it in places sort of on the side and away from the mouth. You don't need to put it actually where the lips are or anything. It just needs to hold it in on the sides. So that's basically all I do, and I have not had a problem. I like the super glue because it dries so quickly, and it's very strong. If you don't want to use super glue, or you're afraid to use super glue, then I would use E6000 or something like that. But then that should be it, and then you want to just gloss the teeth with whatever gloss you use, and they should be done. So I'm going to gloss her and put her together, and I'll finally have another doll done. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you're all doing well, staying healthy and safe, and I will be back with a new video as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Bye everyone.